Hi, Darren Gebert here with 345 Auction. How are you? As an auction house, we deal with historical artifacts all the time, and sometimes the history behind the artifacts is interesting in and of itself, and sometimes it is troublesome and problematic, and such is the case with these pieces that I'm going to show you today. They're known as Black Americana. Sometimes they've been known as Negro Memorabilia, and they are caricatures, ugly caricatures of Black Americans in the 18th, 19th century, even into the 20th and 21st century. You will see examples of this even today. But these two pieces right here that I'm going to start with are cast iron banks. And we believe that these are possibly into the 30s and 40s. They are Taiwanese in their construction, very, very heavy. And the Taiwanese cast iron banks are differentiated from, let's say, the earlier American-made banks in that they have bright colors. None of the early American cast iron banks actually were painted. And the Taiwanese were painted in bright, very primary colors. We've got a maid, and we have what looks like somebody here with watermelon. The paint is in excellent condition. And while they are troublesome to look at, they are actually very collectible. For a long time, people would collect these simply to get them off the market, but I think that the value of pieces like this comes in comparison, historical comparison, to what Black Americans actually did in the 19th and 20th century. Both of those centuries were fabulous centuries for American prosperity, and Black Americans had some of the greatest contributions in science, in culture, and in arts. And so when you look at what Black America gave to America in general, and then you see these, it is in stark juxtaposition to what actually happened. These are terrible caricatures, quite frankly. But I think that they have value as an example. Now over here, we have some of those stereo cards, stereoscopic cards. You would put them in the holders, and these would make stereo 3D pictures. These are very old, antique certainly, in excellent condition. And you see, again, very stereotypical caricatures of what Black American life was like back in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Here we have a depiction of, this is a potato sack from Bakersfield, California, Mammy potatoes. Perhaps the Aunt Jemima sort of style. We don't have the Aunt Jemima logo anymore for probably a pretty decent reason. DM Camp and Sons. And then lastly, I would like to, it's not so much Negro Memorabilia or Black Americana, I guess it would be called Black Americana, but this is a cabinet card, an original cabinet card from, looks like O.S. Goff was the photographer, Dickinson, North Dakota. And what you see here are two buffalo soldiers. And this is, there are a few condition issues right here where the paper is torn, but this is really a beautiful example of the contribution that was made by Black Americans in America back in the 19th century. There are some issues here on the back with a little bit of foxing and various other discoloration. However, the picture itself is actually in pretty decent condition considering its age. And you don't know who has had this. I wish we had provenance to tell you who the people in the picture were, but we don't. Anyway, all of these items are going to be coming up for auction in the next couple of weeks. November 2nd, I believe, is when the auction will finish. We don't have that link up at the moment, but when we do, I will put that link in the description of the video. If you go to 345auction.com, you can register for all of our auctions. And once you've registered, you will get updates on each auction that we have, as well as a heads up for any future auctions. So if you want to bid on this Black Memorabilia, I would suggest that you go to 345auction.com, register, and good luck.